just one of the most middle of the road things I've read like ever, I would say. It's the dumbest shit, and I just love it. Get all the way the f out of my face, you weirdo. Well, hello, welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books that I have read recently, or DNF'd recently. I have admittedly been reading real slow of recent. Hardly at all, to be honest. But starting with some in April that I picked up, the end of April. This one was one that I've had on my Kindle forever, that I think it was a Kindle Unlimited one that I had added forever ago and just was hanging out, I'm pretty sure, or it was like a cheap one that I bought, I don't really know. But it was a little cozy historical mystery called An Untimely Death by Blythe Baker. And it's the Anna Fairweather series, #1. And yeah, I just felt very, very meh. Just one of the most middle of the road things I've read like ever, I would say. I gave it 3 stars. I did not dislike it, but I didn't have any particular issues that I can like point you to of like why it was so middle of the road. It just was. One thing I guess I will say that I could point to is the like whodunit. I guessed pretty much immediately and I was right. So that's always a little disappointing with mysteries, right? Where you're like, and not like a guess like, ooh, could it be? But where I'm like, that's definitely like, well, who it is and what happened. Like it was just, the foreshadowing was like smacking you right in the face a little bit. So maybe that's why, but like, it was just there. It was fine. Oh, then I picked up one that, it's like I DNF'd it technically. How far did I get? Not very far. Let me see. Okay, I guess I got 27% into it. So further than I thought. And that is The Branded by Joe Riccioni. This one, I thought it was a new release because it was on NetGalley, but I think the second book either just got released or last year was released, and it's young adult fantasy, and I just tend not to like vibe with it more often than not these days. I think I'm just like too old for teenager dumbassery. Same thing with contemporary young adult. It's not bad. I don't think it's bad. It's just a lot of times, mostly just the characters are dumbasses. In a way that like annoys me to my core, you know? This one though, I liked the premise. I mean, clearly, because I snatched it up from NetGalley. And there wasn't really anything about this one that was like bothering me either, necessarily. I could just tell, I got 27% into it, and I could just tell it was gonna be like a, this is fine type of read. It just, nothing about it was gonna be a fave at all, from what I could tell. And the main character, I just wasn't really vibing with too much either, so I gave up. Next up, I finally picked up Rhapsody by Elizabeth Hayden. If you watched my little like series TBR, what did I fucking call it? Series TBR, like, I don't know, where I'm going through and doing a chapter of first books in series that are on my series TBR that's like 175 series long. And just trying to like weed some out if I can. And I did one round, like a vlog, and a few of them where I was like, yeah, no, I actually don't care. This one, it was on the list though, and it was like higher priority simply because I own the entire first trilogy and second trilogy, or duology, or trilogy. I don't really know. I own 5 books, and there's actually a shit ton in the whole thing. But I think they're all kind of like spin-off series. So the first trilogy, I'm at least giving a shot. And I did do a chapter of this one. And I was like, yeah, okay. So it was also on my pile of possibilities for the year. So I picked it up. And it's adult epic fantasy. Rhapsody, our main character, is a talented singer with a capital S. It's like kind of a magical thing in this world. And she accidentally bumps into 2 strange and quite dangerous men, also of mixed race/blood, as Rhapsody is as well. There's different like races of creatures. And they end up kind of kidnapping her, kind of, and taking her on this wild-ass adventure through the earth and through the centuries to come out on the other side realizing that their entire world and lives have been altered very deeply and very, very seriously. For rereadability, I could see myself rereading this one depending on the rest of this initial trilogy. And from what I've seen, I've looked at non-spoilery like stuff of people talking about this series and the other books too as it goes on past the original trilogy. And a lot of people say like just stop at the original trilogy because the next like couple of books after like tend to kind of ruin it for people, it seems. So I don't know, we'll see. I could see myself though, if I really do love the overall trilogy, I could see myself rereading it. I could see it being kind of a comfort, you know, adult epic fantasy read that just is enjoyable. Because it was enjoyable. The writing style was fine. It was nothing memorable, but it was good. Like, it was solid. I didn't have any issues with the writing style. And same with the characters, where I wasn't like obsessed with any of them necessarily, but like Rhapsody as a main character, I really loved. I've heard some people say that like she's really annoying sometimes. I was like, maybe I'm annoying because I didn't find her annoying ever. I just like liked her throughout. I thought she was cool. And the other main characters too, the two guys that she's with, they're like side characters kind of, but like more main characters. I really liked them as well. The one, Grunther, might have been like my favorite character, I think. He's just great. He's like kind of like a big ogre, dwarf, goblin-y, beastie kind of dude. He's right here. And scary as all get out. And like his race of creature, like they tend to eat humans and other creature. Like they're real intense. But he's just like a big teddy bear, and he's like funny. So I liked him. And the plot I enjoyed. It was enjoyable overall. Surprisingly, I think, because there's a whole portion where we're on like this quest through the earth and like traveling through this like the roots of this like world tree type of thing, this magical tree. And I think in a lot of other books that kind of, it would have, from a different author with different pacing, I would have DNF'd probably. Because it went on for quite a while, but I remember finding myself being like, oh, this has been going on for a while, and like, I'm not hating it. Like, we're clicking along pretty well through this story. And yeah, just the pacing overall, I felt like I liked it. I don't know. I think I could see some people not liking it because there are moments where it's like, ooh, big battle, we're ramping up for, and then it just kind of happens and we don't see it. I don't mind that though. I do not love a shit ton of like battle war scenes, military fantasy type shit where like that's a pretty heavy focal point. Tends to not be my jam more often than not. So I didn't mind that we like skipped over that shit most of the time. And yeah, I don't know, I'm curious, I'm intrigued. I gave this 3.75 stars, so not like, oh my god, so freaking great, but like pretty dang solid. And I can see why a lot of people really like it, and I'm curious to see how the rest of the series goes. I did pick up the second book, but like barely. I'm like 10 pages in, so. Then the next one I picked up was another NetGalley e-arc that I couldn't resist because, just listen. the first like of this first half of the first sentence. An action-packed romantic dragon fantasy inspired by the Fast and the Furious. Perfect for fans of Fourth Wing, Sarah J. Maas, and Danielle L. Jensen. And I don't know if y'all know this, I have a whole 45-minute long video on this very channel talking about Fast and the Furious, complete with graphs and rankings, charts. I rewatched, before the 10th movie came out, I rewatched all of them and did this whole like freaking investigative journalism, like stupid ass data thing. I love the Fast and Furious franchise. It's the dumbest shit and I just love it. I don't know why. It's just dumb action, fun, entertaining times to me. No matter how stupid the action gets, it's so fun to me. So when I saw this, even though I could not read Fourth Wing, I read the first 3 chapters and was like, I don't even know if I finished the first 3 chapters. The sneak peek was 3 chapters. And I don't even know if I finished that. I was like, I can't. And Sarah J. Maas, you know, I have loved some stuff in the past, but like recently I'm like, girl, what? Danielle Jensen, I liked The Bridge Kingdom and I like well enough. And then I DNF'd the second one, I think. But the Fast and Furious Dragons, I was like, sign me the fuck up, man. But, yeah, I only got, well, I got 24% in. And I wrote, I mean, I kind of thought the premise indicated it might be ridiculous. And it wasn't even that it was ridiculous, but I just was not vibing with the writing. And I freaking love Fast and the Furious, though. Like, it was a little ridiculous, but yeah, the writing, and like the main character was a guy that was kind of like gross. I didn't like his, like it was trying to be like, it seemed like they were trying to go for like, you know, Brian O'Connor, like Paul Walker, like charming, flirty, good-looking dude who's like charmingly flirtatious with the female love interest. But there was one scene in particular where he just came off like annoying and gross and kind of harassing, like, and like skeevy, like, ugh. Where like if I was the girl, I would have been like, get all the way the fuck out of my face, you weirdo. So yeah, I just wasn't like loving all of that, and just kind of this like irreverent but like try hard, like, yeah, I'm just like so cool, you know? Like, I just can't help it. Like, ugh, I don't know. I don't like him. So I gave up. But it was a fun idea, you know? And next, the last one. This one I just finished yesterday, I think, or the day before. I think it was yesterday. But that is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. Osman? I don't know. One of them. Book 1 of the Thursday Murder Club series. It is contemporary mystery, as you can imagine. We have 4 elderly friends living in a retirement home in the UK, and they have bonded over trying to solve unsolved murders from the past during their little weekly meetings of the Thursday Murder Club, as they call themselves. But then, while the local slimy businessman who owns the little retirement village is trying to buy up more land to expand his business, people start dying, and an active murder investigation, and then another one, are initiated, with our little Thursday Murder Club friends getting a bit more involved with the investigation than the local police would care. More than they appreciate. Old secrets are revealed, and various plots and plans converge to explain all of the bodies that have come up and who killed them. I don't know if I would reread this or not. I enjoyed it, and once it got going, I blew through this bitch once it got going. So like the pacing was good and everything, and I liked it. And I liked the characters, and I liked the mystery, the murder mystery of it all. I thought it was fun and like interesting and everything. I just wasn't like especially enamored with the characters or the plot or anything. Like, I wasn't like, oh my God, but like I did really like it. I don't know. It's one of these where I'm gonna read the next book too, and like maybe as the series goes on, I'll get more attached to the characters. I have heard people say that. Mara has read this, and I think she similarly like liked the first book, but was like, eh. But then I think it was the second book or maybe the third book. She really liked the second one, and either the second or the third she like loved and was like, oh my God. So I'm hoping that happens with me too. Because again, I liked this quite a bit, but not in love with it, but we'll see as it goes on. The authorial voice, I enjoy kind of the dry British wit, humorous authorial voice. That's my cup of tea, so love that. And again, I didn't like love the characters necessarily, but like they were a hoot. And I did really love Elizabeth. She's so great. She is like a cunning, charming force to be reckoned with, and that is like one of my favorite types of female characters. Just female, like people in general. Humans in general, but especially women that are like that. I just love it. The rest of the gang was really great too. Like, they were fun. And even the detectives, the local police detectives, initially I was kind of like, I don't care about them. But like as it went on, I really liked them individually and their dynamic together. So I'm excited to get more of them too in the future. For the plot and everything and like the pacing, the first like 20 to 40-ish% I would say was a little slow for me. I was enjoying it, and also I've just been reading really slow lately, like having other things going on, other things on my mind. So maybe that was part of it, but like it took me a while to get through that first like 30-ish%. But then after that, like I flew through this thing. The last like 50%, I definitely blew through it, read it really fast, and I don't know, I liked how things played out. I ended up giving this one 3.75 as well. Both of these, 3.75, for different reasons. But yeah, I'm excited to continue. Again, same as this one. I'm excited to continue and hoping that the other books in the series I like at least as much, but hopefully a little bit more. So yeah, a success. And that is all for now. We'll see how long it is before I have a few to talk about again, because again, reading real slow lately. Let me know if you've read any of these, or if you just have any thoughts about any of them, if they sound good now or they sound less good now, if you thought they sounded good before. Let me know. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.